Hey, what's up everyone? I wanted to make this quick video for you. This isn't so much about overages. It's more of like a business, just some knowledge that I wish I had when I quit my job and went into overages and real estate full time. Because everyone, I know that on social media, on everything, everybody talks about the good, but nobody talks about the bad and the reality and the non-sexy things. So here's one thing that, if you are thinking of going into business for yourself, here's one thing that you need to understand. Well, here's a couple things. I'll give you a couple things. One thing that you need to understand is, if you're in business for yourself, you need to make more in order to take home what you currently make. Let me explain. Let's say you make $50,000 a year at your job, okay? And let's say that's $50,000 net, okay? So that's after they take out your taxes and everything. So you take home $50,000 every year. In order for you to take home that same amount as a business owner or as an entrepreneur, you probably need to make double that. Okay, so if you want to take home 50, you probably need to, at a minimum, make 100 grand. And let me explain why. So here's one thing they don't talk about. When you're a business owner, you got to take care of your own taxes. When you're an employee, your taxes are taken out for you, right? That's not the case when you're a business owner. You need to take out your taxes. So, and depending on how much you make, is going to determine how much you should save in taxes. So for me, 20% of everything I make, I put into a tax account for tax savings. So just 20% right off the top. Okay. Now, if you're a person of faith, of religious, and you do like charitable donations, here's another thing. For me, another 10% of my income goes to tithing or charitable donations. Okay, that's a personal thing for me that I do. Not everyone's going to do that, but I would advise everyone to do that, because one, it's good. You're helping people and you're being charitable, and there's also some benefits to that. Okay, so going back, 30% of my check automatically is taken away from me. Not taken away, but put aside for other things. I told you 20% for taxes, 10% for charitable donations. For me, I also put another 20% back into my business. And you may need more, you may need less, but for every dime you make, you need to put some of that money back into your business. So reinvest your proceeds back into your business, because that's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to survive. Because you need to have savings to overcome, let's say you have a couple bad months in your business, you need to have some savings so you can survive, and also so you can invest and grow and make moves that are going to grow your business. Okay, people don't talk about this. Like, I learned this the hard way, and it's, thank goodness that I had a little bit of common sense when it came to these things. But I would even say 20% may not be enough. Depending on your business, you may need more. So again, to recap, listen, 20% to taxes, 10% to tithing, 20% back into the business. So for every dollar I make, we're now at 50 cents that I get to keep. Okay? But it doesn't stop there. I put 10% of every dollar I make back into an education account. This could be this is like education and personal development. So these are things, I've mentioned that I spent a lot of money on education, and I still do, because it is so important. The skills that got you where you are today will not get you to where you want to be tomorrow. And so for me, I have to constantly be acquiring new skills, whether it's different strategies in the overage business. How can I make money, or how can I say there's a certain case that I don't know how to manage, then I hire an attorney to walk me through it, to help me, if it's an estate case, or maybe it's a business, or maybe it's just, how can I be, a better marketer, and how can I, get more leads in my business. Whatever it is, 10% goes into a fund for those education purposes. So I still buy courses. Last week I went to a seminar in South Carolina, a business conference. Next month I'm going to another business conference. So another 10% goes to education. So what does that leave me now? 40%. For every dollar I make, I only get to keep 40 cents. So that's what I have to live on. And I actually go a step further, okay? Another 10% I'll invest into like an investment fund, to do deals on my own, or to make other investments, whether it's in the stock market, or whatever it may be. It's money that I can afford to lose, but it's also money that I set aside just for the purpose of investing, whether that's in a 401k or an IRA or crypto or whatever it is. I put aside money for investment purposes outside of my business, okay? So just to recap, for every dollar I make, I put 20% back into the business, 20% to taxes, 10% to tithing, 10% to my education, and 10% to investment. So what does that leave me? 30%. I live on 30% of every dollar I make. Okay? So that's why if you live on $50,000, like if your living expenses are $50,000, you need to make at least 100, and that's assuming if let's just say you don't put 10% into education and you don't put 10% into investment. So now you can keep 50%. You need to make 100K in order to replace your income. Yeah, that's hard. And this is just the reality, guys. So I live on 30%. And I would advise not to go above that. And I'm sharing this with you. I know this isn't about overages, but I know that there are a lot of you that want to start your own business and want to, quit your job and leave your job. And so that's why I'm making this, because the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's very difficult, but it's worth it, okay? And nobody told me these things when I quit my job. I just had to figure it out, and it was scary. It still is scary. I mean, even to this day, like it's still scary to be 100% responsible for taxes, your own income, because at least at a job, if you show up, you're going to get paid. You don't have that luxury as a business owner. You could show up every day and there's no guarantee you're going to get paid. That's the truth. So you need to have, I just want to tell you guys, because here's the thing, guys, like being a business owner is not for everyone, and that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being an employee or being an entrepreneur, being an employee but having an entrepreneur mindset. There's nothing wrong with that. And I am grateful for my time as an employee. But for me, I think that I was cut out to be an entrepreneur. Hopefully this was valuable for you guys. I just wanted to put the reality out there of you don't think about these things. You just think, okay, if I want to quit my job, I need to make 50 grand in my business. No, you need to make probably double that or more, for the reasons that I've outlined, because you want to be smart. You can't live on every dollar you make if you're a business owner. You have to put money back into your business. You have to put money aside for taxes, for investing, for charitable, for your personal development. I mean, you don't have to. Of course, you don't have to do these things. But if you're smart, you will do these things. You will put money back into your business. You will invest in your skills and your knowledge. You will be charitable and stuff. That's just my opinion. But if you're smart and you want a business that lasts, then you'll do those things. You won't live on every dollar you make. So yeah, hopefully that was useful and I brought the point across. These are just things to think about, guys. If you are an employee and you're thinking of becoming a business owner, just make sure you don't look at just the pros, because all the pros are out there on Facebook and Instagram. Everyone's selling the dream. But make sure you understand the cons too and the difficulties, okay? Because you need to understand that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, okay? Again, I apologize that this wasn't about overages and surplus funds and all that good stuff, but these are good principles to know and things to think about. And that's all I've got for you. So sorry about if you want to learn about overages, go get the course at overagecourse.com. But these are important business principles that if you're thinking about starting a business, keep these in mind. But here's a cool thing too. Last point. You can still start a business and not leave your job. You don't have to leave your job. And I think every employee should have some sort of side hustle, because there's amazing benefits. I mean, if you have a side hustle as an employee, then you can write off a lot of stuff in your business and save a ton of money just in taxes every year. For some of you folks that maybe you make a really good living at your job, maybe you have a six-figure income at your job, but you don't have any tax benefits or you don't have any tax write-offs. That's why everyone should have some sort of business or side hustle, because just the tax savings alone is huge. And so maybe that's what you're looking for as well. Maybe you're not looking to quit your job, but you're looking for, a side income or a side hustle that brings in an extra income, but it's also going to save you a ton in taxes. So, but consult a CPA on that. So yeah, final point. This is still, the overage for real estate just in general is still a good choice for providing a side income for you and helping you save on taxes. Okay, that's it for today. Sorry for the rant, but I hope this helps someone. Thanks, guys.